Hello and welcome to today's presentation. My name is Alex Shumarsky on the Sitefinity product marketing team, and we have a number of slides and demos to share with you today to celebrate the release of Sitefinity DX 14. But before we go there and give you a couple of tips and ideas on how to scale your digital experiences with Sitefinity DX 14, let's have a look at who are your hosts. That's me on the left, Alexander Shumarsky, the silky fellow who wasn't able for some reason to generate a Bitmoji. But we also have Jonathan Reed, who will be demoing many of the exciting new capabilities that we're introducing with the latest release, as well as Amy Ward, our product marketing specialist, who will walk you through the new packaging and share some tips and ideas on how you can scale your digital experience with Sitefinity DX. Before we go into the nitty-gritty, let's have a look at some agenda highlights, where we'll cover, of course, some common marketing and IT challenges, and we'll see whether you relate to them. And also, we'll cover the topic why you need a strategic approach to digital experiences, and try to move away from just content management or managing a single channel digital strategy, how to tackle your next big digital aspirations with the latest release. And we'll wrap up this webinar with news and updates about our repackaging and how we are making, building a scalable solution tailored to your business needs much easier with Sitefinity. So let's start with a data point, because no presentation is good without a data point, and we've picked one from Gartner, and they claim that 81% of brands expect to be competing on a basis of customer experience. And if you think about it, if you're a consumer, or whether you are a marketer or someone who represents a large organization, you may have noticed a shift in customer behavior, as well as the need to pivot to face the new reality. And we'll cover also many data points, of course, later, that will give you more details about how, for example, the changing consumer behavior is affecting digital experiences, and how to tackle those and how to address those challenges if you are an organization that is in the position that you need to pivot or focus on your next step in your digital strategy. So what's going on the market? As I mentioned, there's a lot of things that are leading to the need for organizations to to shift and rethink their requirements and needs and goals, as well as the fact that consumer behaviors continue to evolve and modernize, with people just moving away from in-person interactions and just going digital, as well as the need and their need and the way they are expecting a harmonized experience versus consuming an individual content. They want an end-to-end, consistent, cohesive experience that will enable them to stay on top of their needs and to interact with your brand more effectively and more efficiently. And this has led to the need to evolve your digital presence or your organization presence, or even the technology that supports those digital experiences, to be more DXP oriented. Now, if you're new to DXP and you've been managing, for example, a single website or a number of websites that are disconnected and somehow fragmented, the following slide will try to explain why the market is evolving away from WCM, or what we call web content management, to a digital experience platform setup. And there are a number of points that we need to talk about here, and it's understanding the customer with data. Visits are great, but also are not enough to really give you the whole picture of what's going on with your digital experience. Whether you're investing in the proper campaigns, the proper channels, whether you're getting the best return on investment. So you need to work with data to really understand what your customers are doing and how they interact with your brand. But also, it's about creating harmonized experience with content, because there's so many multiple channels, there's so many different personas, and one size simply doesn't fit all. The next point we need to mention here is that you need to be able to tailor and to scale the experience to meet the changing business needs, as well as deliver value with extensibility, integration, and then customization. And just a couple of ideas here: CRM, commerce, multi-experience, search, chat, as well as marketing automation tools. Using those approaches will help you end up with something that is really can be a very beneficial to your organization, but also to your audience as well, regardless of whether you start with, say, content in the middle, or whether your focal point is, for example, digital decisioning, data, e-commerce, or something else. You need to take a strategic approach to digital experience so you can build the kind of experience that will resonate well with your customers throughout their entire life cycle, as they're looking for, ways to get informed, to be assisted, or to order something from you, to apply for example, for product or service or a position even, as well as inquire about certain information. But the beauty of a cohesive, connected, and a properly optimized digital experience is the fact that it has an immediate impact on your organization. It enables you to acquire new business, to onboard new employees, to retain your customers, to service them better, and to grow your company. At the end of the day, there are many um, surveys that we did in the past couple of months, where we get the same feedback from from our customers and the people who participated in those surveys, and they all agree that growing the top line and maximizing, of course, their top line as well as getting their bottom line in control and improving their operational efficiency is what they are really struggling at in many cases, and what they are focusing on. So long-term goals are no longer long-term goals; they are becoming immediate priorities, given that the entire world is shifting to a whole new way of operating. Maybe is the right word. I don't know. So how to tackle your next big digital aspiration with Sitefinity DX. And this is where we'll go into the what's new with the latest release, because if you are new to Sitefinity, or even if you're an existing customer running a slightly older version, you may know or may not know that it has all the critical digital experience platform capabilities that you will need to launch a new digital experience for your customers, to improve your internal processes and workflows, to really scale up your DX and achieve your goals and aspirations. And One of the core capabilities is intuitive multi-site, multilingual, and omnichannel content management. My question to you is, are you only using your desktop to interact with the brand, or are you using your mobile phone or any other device like tablet, or even sometimes a connected car, or even your smart TV? Because historically we used to interact with brands through their through their websites, but no longer this is the case. You need to be able to efficiently manage the content across those channels. And here's where Sitefinity comes to help you be independent of your IT, to reduce the reliance on the IT folks, and to really be able to cover all those multilingual, multi-channel, and multi-site needs that you need to tackle. Number two is actionable analytics. And I spoke about it briefly, that you need to start understanding your audience. So Sitefinity comes with built-in actionable analytics, audience discovery, personalization, as well as digital marketing tools like conversion rate optimization, A/B testing, and many other capabilities to enable you to run efficient digital marketing campaigns, as well as get a great return on investment for your spendings. Number three on the list here is the ability to improve the operational efficiency. So you need a platform that is cloud enabled, that is extensible, that is connected, so you can scale up as your business, or tweak or extend or customize it to your specific needs. Because you, at the end of the day, a monolithic platform or a custom built website may not be as extensible or as customizable as you need it to be in the moment when you really need to pivot to the new reality. And last but not least, and this is of course just a sample of the capabilities that Sitefinity supports, is the B2B or B2C e-commerce. Of course, if you're in e-commerce, then that's great. We do offer a number of integrations available to get you instantly up and running with your e-commerce strategy. But also, if you're more like content-heavy organization, then a good site search will certainly help uh, your customers discover the content they're looking for. Extensibility, of course, is still something that it's worth mentioning once again, because it will enable you to connect to multiple other systems, whether it's CRM system, marketing automation, or even social media networks. So you are more efficient. So you are not doing what you can automate manually. And on top of those capabilities that we've continued to evolve over the past several releases, we continue to refine Sitefinity. We continue to introduce new exciting capabilities. And we are introducing a low-code integration, which is really designed to help you speed up time to market, to simplify management, to really connect to a number of external systems. And I'll show you how it works in a couple of minutes. We are introducing a drop-in native chat widget to get you up and running with native chat, which is offered through Progress, which will enable you to leverage on other communication channels. We're improving our experience management capabilities, where we have improved the performance, the documentations, as well as the capabilities of our headless offering. But we have introduced what we call user groups, and we'll talk about those later, which will enable you to introduce some sort of a multi-tenancy with your in your Sitefinity deployment, enabling you to manage only one instance, but to enable different user groups within your organizations or across the globe to be independent. And last but not least, we are making a lot of improvements to our analytics suite to bring things like audience segmentation, improved attribution models, and many other enhancements that Amy will talk about later in this presentation. I'll just spend a couple of minutes talking about why low-code integrations that we are introducing with Sitefinity 14 is something that I like. Again, more data points, and I am sure that you will agree with many of those. But for me personally, integrations are becoming so complex, and every time we go to our developers and engineering team and ask them, hey, can we integrate that or this platform, they used to say, well, yes, we can do it, but it would take time. With the low-code integrations that we are introducing with Sitefinity DX 14, we're simplifying the implementation and maintenance of integrations. And you see how it works in a second. And Jonathan Reed will demo a sample integration that he's doing with a social network. But essentially, it allows you to simplify the implementation itself, maintenance, but also enable you to accomplish things like publishing content across multiple channels, or collect, store, and connect the CRM data, or seamlessly deliver a unified branding experience. And how it works is, for you as a marketer, it's going to be a transparent process. You will notice it, but let's assume that you want to create some sort of content, or or trigger some sort of automation based on a form submit that you have received through a contact us form. Or maybe you want to do something with once you learn that your loyal customers have logged in, or maybe a new customer has registered. Once you've connected your Sitefinity instance to a middleware of your choice, it could be Power Automate, for example, Zapier, it could be any actually custom microservice, then you can use any of those 20 plus triggers to exchange content with this middleware, and then push it to a third-party service of your choice. It could be Salesforce, it could be SharePoint, it could be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Eloqua. It could be something, for example, you send an email to a fellow team member, or you send them a message to get their attention on Teams or to a Slack channel. There's so many opportunities there. And the beauty is that once you have established or you integrate it with the middleware of your choice, the next step is to pick up one of those growing number of connectors that, for example, Power Automate offers, as well as Zapier, to really automate the manual work. Think about the fact that you need to optimize from a time to time, for example, 20 or 30 images to build a web page or a campaign page. Now, you can easily automate this process by hooking up your Sitefinity instance to a middleware, and then use a service like Kraken or any other similar service to automatically optimize those images and to improve internal workflows, to drive automation and reduce those manual, hours of manual work. Best Western is a good example of how integration can help you not only improve operational efficiency but also boost your performance. They've recently revamped their hotel booking system and the process for their customers, and they use Sitefinity DX to integrate with their international booking system, loyalty management database, and as well as 3,000 plus individual hotel databases, therefore giving their customers and prospects a better experience, up-to-date offers, as well as removed a lot of manual works and manual tasks and then processing. So if you're not using integration, maybe you should consider it. There are immediate benefits that you can reap from improving your DXP in this direction. Okay, here we come to the first demo today. So I'm going to transfer screen control to Jonathan Reed, who is going to demo how you can hook Sitefinity in a low-code integration fashion. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. All right, so presented in front of you, you should see service hooks within Sitefinity. So I've already navigated to the screen. This is under the administrative tab. I have a number of service hooks. In fact, we're going to go ahead and define one right now. Now, the idea here, as Alex mentioned, behind service hooks is the low-code operation. So things like getting content to other platforms can happen in hours, not days, right? So as we define a new service hook here, we'll obviously give it a label. Maybe we want to take our reservation form and send it somewhere. So we'll call this reservation form. The trigger in this case, and as mentioned, there are tons and tons of triggers. I'll go ahead and list them all out here. This even includes our custom content items available in this system as well. So you can see some of mine, and we'll cover those here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and look for a form submitted, and we'll go use selected. We could do this for all the forms within the system, offering sort of a blanket type of policy, collect it somewhere else, get it to our CRM or other custom applications. But in this case, since I labeled it so specifically, we'll do a reservation form here. We'll then give it a target URL. I'm just going to type in something for now. And just call it that. This is the endpoint that it will send to. You can offer authentication and some other things. Not going to cover that in depth today, but this is how easily and quickly you can create a service hook. It wants me to enter a valid URL. Thank you for checking me there. All right, so just like that, again, we've created a service hook, and we can now get our data really anywhere. Today, what we're going to go ahead and show off is one we've already created here called Location Published. So the website that we're using today, Coriander Lane, is really focused on opening new restaurants across the world. Now, our marketing and business team, when they publish a new restaurant, they wanted to be able to post that to some social networks, in this case, LinkedIn and Twitter. Behind the scenes, we're using a Azure Logic app to take the data from this content item, process it, and make a post to those particular platforms. So you can see here, targeted URL, location published, and then we're sending it off. To review what it looks like in Azure, and again, we're not going to go into any depth about how this was set up, but we have a webhook or an HTTP request is received that produces the URL that we need to submit to. We then do some conditionals. I here just make sure that the item is live and that it's a new item, so I only send a tweet or LinkedIn post once. We then, down here, we're going to send a tweet. It should say opening soon, city, the state, and then learn more where we have a short URL applied. So let's see how all this works, and we'll prove how we can easily create content on the fly. So we'll go ahead and create a new location. We have a little bit of classification here. It doesn't really matter for the sake of the demonstration. All right, what amenities do they have? Here's a custom field that we've added. So this is where the Logic app is able to decipher where we should be sending it, okay? So we'll go ahead and send that off to Twitter and LinkedIn. I've already produced a short URL. As you know, Twitter doesn't like things to be too long. So just using a bit.ly link to offer some UTM campaign parameters along with the URL that we're navigating to. We'll select a couple images to go along with it. That's great. And almost done here. We're going to select a country. Now, I want you to take note that this Google Maps integration is something that will be available in the marketplace soon enough. All right, let's go to Massachusetts. And how about the great city of Boston? All right, that should be enough information here. Maybe we change the zoom level and we're good to go. Now, as soon as I publish this piece of content, that Logic app will run behind the scenes, and we should see on Twitter and LinkedIn 2 new posts. So here we go, live demo. Let's cross our fingers here. Now you'll see my Twitter handle here. Don't get too excited. Don't go on and follow me. I'm not very exciting. I don't post a whole lot except for these great integrations. And there you go. Opening soon, Boston, Massachusetts. Learn more. We can drive into that particular link and navigate to our particular content item. And here is a company page available on LinkedIn. And you'll see here our new Boston, Massachusetts link as well. All right. So again, we're able to create quickly integrations to many different types of applications. Again, in a matter of hours, not days. Alex, back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. I couldn't help but notice the lower right-hand side of your screen where you had this prompt message, and chat is becoming very, very important. And I can see a whole new generation, using their smartphones and even desktop computers or laptops or whatever kids are now are using nowadays, to text their friends, to interact with their family instead of picking up the phone and calling. Now, this could be an opportunity, but also becomes a challenge for many organizations, simply because they need to figure out how to resonate with the needs of those of their prospects and customers who prefer to interact with those brands in a whole new different way. And probably if you are, for example, facing if you are in a similar situation, maybe you should consider implementing some sort of a chat. In this particular case, I will spend just 2 minutes talking about how to implement native chat and of course the benefits of implementing native chat with Sitefinity, because there's so many opportunities there that may have been previously unavailable to you or as an organization, but there are a number of things you can achieve. Number one is to personalize the conversation, to shape the journey, to drive those prospects to a predefined goal, and ultimately, of course, accelerate pipeline, to create them, to offer them relevant experiences with the personal touch, and of course, to pivot by adopting digital over in person, optimize internal workflows, automate the first line of support, and serve customer 24/7. As I mentioned, I can see a lot of people interacting with brands over chat, or at least they prefer that channel. And this is an opportunity for you as an organization, simply because you can not only create the kind of experience they are anticipating, but also you're helping your organization by optimizing the bottom line and improving the support, simply because you'll be able to automate the first line of support, and you will prevent those prospects hitting your expensive call centers. And with the native chat widget for Sitefinity, we've tried to accomplish a couple of things. Number one is simplify the development with a drag and drop no code integration with customization options. So you don't have to spend a lot of time fiddling with the different settings or manually implementing a script at a template or a website or a page level. It's so much easier at the moment, but also it's an opportunity for you as an organization to leverage an integrated DX-focused chat solution. Whether you're trying to, for example, to automate your create self-service options, or to automate the first level of support, or just use this as an opportunity to interact with your prospects and customers. And the ultimate goal is that, because this is an ML driven, and it includes a lot of artificial intelligence behind the scenes, it is a solution that is really designed to drive visitors to a positive outcome. It could be booking an appointment. It could be checking something that they might be interested in. It could be looking for an answer to their questions. There are multiple use cases. If you haven't looked at the websites, we have recently revamped it. Have a look at it. It will give you a lot of ideas on how to leverage chatbots into your DX, regardless of the vertical you are in. And last but not least, and I think I mentioned it, reduce cost and improve operational efficiency, simply because you don't have to hire more sales rep, actually customer service reps, and so you can focus on some other strategic DX initiatives. And again, we'll be switching screen where Jonathan will continue his demo and tell us how he has implemented native chat with his favorite Coriander Lane website.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. So hopefully you should see excellent here, a little play on words, if you will. So to expand the story a little bit further with Coriander Lane here, one of our major goals, and as you saw me create a new location a few moments ago, locations or finding locations is a very, very important task within our business. So we generated a custom, implementation here where we have, all of our locations listed. But let's go ahead and take that one step further. We want to help guide users to find this. In fact, maybe we want to expose our locations information on more than one page, and again, help guide our visitors, our users, people who are hungry, give them the chance to find a location maybe a little bit easier than navigating to this page. So we're going to use our native chat integration, as Alex just mentioned. Setting it up in the back end of Sitefinity, there's one screen. You get an API key from the chatbot. We're not going to go into that full depth today, but what we're going to do is we're going to use a Sitefinity template. We have one here called Coriander Lane Base. You can see it's used on 11 pages, but what's more important is that we use inheritance in Sitefinity. So this base template is behind the scenes of this one column. It's also our home page or even our internal portal pages as well. So my point in mentioning all that is I can really go to one location, I can add this native chat widget, and it's going to go out to nearly my entire site. So over down on the right-hand side in our toolbox or widget area, we're going to grab the native chat widget. I'll go ahead and place it into the bottom here. We're going to use what we call the modal implementation of the chatbot, where it's going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen. Simple configuration of the chatbot here. These are all the ones I have access to in our system. So I'm going to use one called Coriander Lane. I'll give it a quick nickname here. The avatar for the chatbot, this is what's going to show up in the chat window as far as what the person who's responding, or not even a person, sorry, the chatbot itself is going to look like. I'll select something I've already uploaded here. This is our corporate logo, if you will. A couple other configurations here. Again, we can do modal. Again, that's going to be displayed in the bottom right-hand corner, or we can do an inline sort of chat bot. Again, we're going to do a modal one. I'm going to select another image. I want to use, again, our logo to open up the screen. I'll use the default close icon. A couple other configurations here. Automatically pulls in our API key. I don't need the file picker to show up in ours, but location probably makes sense to utilize. We'll go ahead and save that there. And I'll just go ahead and directly publish this. And now all the pages that are utilizing this particular template, which in my case happens to be the entire site, will now gain access to this chatbot widget. So as we reload the page here, now note in our bottom right-hand corner, we have our beautiful Coriander Lane logo. We can now begin to initialize the chat. It's going to ask us how we want to interact. What do you want to do? Well, let's go ahead and find a location nearby. Let's select a city. And let's see, we'll go Chicago today. How far? 100 miles, let's say. And we'll happen to have, looks like one location on Columbus Drive in Chicago, and we can even navigate into some Google Maps. Our site would also allow for things like setting your preferred location and some other components here. The main idea behind this particular chatbot is really driving a users to a goal, and that's setting that preferred location. You can track all of this within the chatbot. It can also be very beneficial for a question answer type of scenario as well. So the chatbot, again, is great for guided tasks. Our guided task here, again, finding a location, as well as question and answering using natural language processing. Alex, back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. That was a great demo. While I was watching this demo, I realized that before you start interacting with your customers, you need to get them to visit your website or your mobile app or your or any other channel. And I realized that it is the Google organic traffic or any other organic traffic that you can generate through search engine is which converts the best. Maybe for your organization it will be somehow different, but from all the reports that I've seen, organic traffic converts the best. So with that in mind, we've tried to improve what is called the Google page experience capabilities in Sitefinity. If you're new to SEO, maybe this will be something that is new to you. But generally speaking, the better experience on the page, the higher you will rank on, for example, Google. The better experience on your page in terms of user experience, and there are many signals, the lower your CPC would be relative to potentially some of your competitors. So there are multiple benefits of improving the page speed, the user experience at a page level. And we've tried to incorporate the latest guidelines in Sitefinity according to what Google talk about and recommend in terms of best practices to really enable you as a developer as well as a marketer to reap the benefits of ranking as high as possible on search engine result pages, so you can benefit from this free organic traffic that is in many cases guaranteed to result in a conversion. And while this is very easy to set up from a development point of view, you set it up, you forget it. It is also fully transparent for the marketers out there, giving you instant access to things like responsive images, to the ability to tweak the look and feel of different images. So you're, for example, not cropping half of the face of someone that you want to display on the website, but also giving you the ability to automatically detect, for example, the viewpoint, the device that a particular visitor is using, and serve them the appropriate thumbnail or image size, therefore speeding up the website, the experience, the website for them, and therefore sending signals back to Google that, hey, your website is consistent, is mobile friendly, it's fast, it's responsive, and it offers the kind of experience that users really love. And it's transparent, so you don't have to upload different image sizes. And when you combine this with things like, for example, optimization automation through service hooks and webhooks, it really becomes a workflow that your marketers can easily tap into and instantly reap the benefits. Speaking about the speed, Rookie saw an immediate boost in conversion. They saw an improvement that led to 50% increase in leads and content consumption, as well as multiple other KPIs. Based on the fact that they moved about 30 websites in less than 3 months, by the way, to move to MVC to speed up the process, but also they were able to consolidate their entire web presence, moving away from Optimizely and Sitecore. And just with a simple switch from to the latest technology that Sitefinity has to offer, and improving the site speed and the user experience, they saw immediate impact on their web KPIs and hopefully on their financial performance as well. So this is the place where I'll hand it off to Amy, who will continue to talk about marketer productivity and how Sitefinity can enable your marketers to be, to be the best version of themselves.
Thanks, Alex. So now we'll dive into a few enhancements that we've delivered relative to SiteSync. SiteSync, if you're not familiar with it, is one of our most used capabilities by our customers, which really streamlines their content publishing process and simplifies the ability to publish a large volume of content to multiple locations. And essentially, if you're not familiar with SiteSync, SiteSync enables you to create, play with, and test content on a test staging environment and then publish it to a live production environment, error-free, and up to your organization's guidelines and in a streamlined fashion. So two enhancements that we've introduced with SiteSync is one, the ability to now sync content that's in multiple stages. So previously you could only sync content in the published format, and now you can sync unpublished, scheduled, and deleted content to the live production environment. And you can also now publish content or batches of content, so multiple pieces of content at once. And ultimately, our goal is to enable the content editors and marketers to be able to bring more content to more destinations faster than ever without having to rely on IT or developer help. So if we take a look at what this process looked like before Sitefinity 14, often there was multiple pieces of content on the staging environment, and you could only sync published content one by one. And with Sitefinity 14 and our enhancements, now there's multiple pieces of content in different stages, and all of them can be synced at once. So you can see, even when I'm going through this presentation format, it's a lot easier and faster to do it this way than it was before. So hopefully supporting your productivity and being able to really streamline time to market as well for marketers. Another key aspect of this release that has a couple of enhancements is experience management and being able to deliver content and immersive experiences to multiple channels and really engage customers across the channels that mean the most to them and they use the most. So a focus for this release was supporting customers in delivering headless experiences. So we added a personalization APIs, which really gives you full control over delivering experiences and content-driven experiences across multiple channels. So now you have at your disposal content APIs, presentation APIs, and personalization APIs, all available, so then you can deliver experiences and content not only on your website, but also on the touch points that your audience values the most, whether it might be a mobile application, chat, or social, whatever it may be, you now have the power to do so easily and effectively. We also value our end user performance and productivity, so we made enhancements to OData APIs with output cache, so now you will see a faster end user performance when delivering headless experiences. Another thing to mention around headless is we made significant enhancements to our documentation, so I recommend taking a look at that as well. It will really guide you and help you in delivering headless content experiences. Another aspect of delivering experiences is being able to deliver them at a global scale across multiple brands, departments, or websites. And a thing that we've introduced in Sitefinity is called user groups, which essentially allows organizations to deliver multi-site experiences across the various departments they might have or business units, and assign sets of user groups to manage those specific department experiences or brand experiences very simply. So this gives organizations a strong hold and control of content governance and makes the entire instance of web experience easy to manage. So if we take a look at prior to Sitefinity 14, oftentimes organizations had multiple brands and had a separate instance of Sitefinity for each brand, which then a separate set of content editors would then manage and update that content for that brand. And oftentimes there was one single IT team that needed to manage all of these different instances while there was multiple sets of content editors managing the individual instances. And this can become a bottleneck when you're looking to scale the number of brands you're introducing into your web experience, or scale the use of the brands as well. So, and not to mention, it's not very efficient in terms of overhead, infrastructure, complexity, and maintenance. So in order to help some of our customers solve that challenge, we introduced the idea of user groups. So now you can manage everything and use Sitefinity as a centralized hub where you can manage all of your brands in one place. Content editors for one specific brand, department, or business unit will only have the permissions, access, and see the right content that's relevant to them. And the editors that are managing website or the brand number one will not see the content that's needed to be managed for brand number two. So this really simplifies the management and total cost of ownership of Sitefinity when you're growing your organization and managing multiple experiences at a global scale. An example of a customer that has leveraged user groups already is Kubota Tractor, and Kubota Tractor has multiple divisions that manages multiple department-related content, and each user group at the time was managing content in separate Sitefinity instances, and they were able to leverage user groups to simplify the management of content across different divisions, which essentially allowed them to minimize complexity, but also take less time in managing the overall infrastructure and spend more time in being able to identify how to enhance the customer journey and enhance the overall experience. So with that, they were able to see more engagement, so an increase in website sessions, an increase in page views, and also in users. Another great aspect of Sitefinity is personalization, analytics, and optimization. Oftentimes, it's a fan favorite for those that are using it. And the aspect that controls these different capabilities is Sitefinity Insight, our analytics, optimization, and personalization component. For those that might not be familiar with Sitefinity Insight, it's a platform that allows you to connect various cross-channel data in one location and be able to make sense of that data and act upon that data by identifying certain persona segments, certain trends in how people and visitors interact with your site, and then deliver personalized content to different target audiences. You can get built-in insights and recommendations to optimize your journey for certain goals, whether it might be conversions or engagement. You can leverage lead scoring so you can identify who the most engaged visitors are on your site and pinpoint who might be the most ready to target and convert. And it's all within a secure and compliant platform. And the result that a lot of our customers see by leveraging Sitefinity Insight is you're able to deliver very targeted content to specific persona profiles at the right time and on the right channel. And ultimately, that means getting a higher response rate and higher marketing ROI as well by implementing data-driven marketing. We really worked on advancing our attribution models with this release. So we refined our algorithm to be AI-driven and also allow you to splice your attribution in any way you would like. So whether you want to look at first touch or last touch or linear attribution, those are all available to you within Sitefinity Insight. We also introduced the idea of auto-discover touch points. So you automatically get a view of what touch points contribute most to the most conversions. So then you can further use those touch points and distribute those touch points throughout your marketing campaigns for hopefully a higher return on investment as well. We also introduced the ability to create and leverage UTM parameters to track your campaigns from the very start to finish. And a few more Sitefinity Insight enhancements as well. We made enhancements to the ability to track videos and YouTube videos and introduced a technical preview, which allows you to very easily, in a matter of hours, like Jonathan had mentioned, in a matter of hours and not multiple days, be able to connect sources of data with Azure Data Factory. An example of a customer that has leveraged Sitefinity Insight and saw some great benefits from it is Cambridge Innovation Institute, and they had a very quickly growing library of content, a large volume of content with multiple different visitors coming to their site. And they were challenged with being able to show the right content to the right visitor with such a robust website with a ton of content. So they implemented personalization, and by doing that, they were able to quadruple their conversions. They saw a 30% increase in engagement, and they were able to identify leads that were 15 times more likely to convert, all with the help of Sitefinity Insight. So some really exciting tools, and I will pass it over to Jonathan, who will actually demo how you can leverage some of these tools as well.
Thank you, Amy. All right, so we've opened up Sitefinity Insight here. And first on this particular screen is really the attribution model. And one thing to also note is we can apply things like attribution value. Well, that's kind of hard to say. Here again, we can provide a monetary value while defining touch points. So again, just showing some new features here. As we navigate into touch points, as you saw during the demonstration of posting to social platforms, we supplied a short URL which include UTM parameters. So in this case, the touch point for location launches, and these are specific to Twitter. We went ahead and used the UTM campaign parameter. So if I view the definition here, it's for this specific page, the UTM campaign, the medium, and in this case, the source. So you're able to define that, see which groups of visitors or users are interacting with this particular touch point. So in my case, it happens to be my persona called franchisers. We do also have two other personas in this particular environment. They're not listed here because apparently they're not interacting. Conversion uplift. So what conversions is this really driving? So here's where we're able to take it and really start to decipher, hey, is this attributing to our conversions within the system? So looks like it's definitely helping with coming from Yelp, franchise applications, contact us. So lots of great data available here within the Sitefinity Insight platform. So not only can you track, of course, traditional things, UTM campaigns and such, you can also track really any custom type events within this particular application. So take use of Sitefinity Insight, make use of tracking the components that mean the most to your particular website. Back to you, Amy.
Thank you. All right. Wrapping up the what's new in Sitefinity 14, another exciting enhancement that we've continued to evolve over the past couple releases is our support of .NET Core. What's important to note with this release, previously .NET Core had been a technical preview and has now been upgraded to beta. And what particularly is new and what you should pay attention to is we now have templates, a Kickstarter pack of widgets and personalization available and supported through .NET Core that you can now play with and test out. And we also have a free developer training for .NET Core as well on our education portal through Progress. So that wraps up what's new, and very quickly we'll walk through another exciting enhancement to Sitefinity, but it's actually our packaging and how we are offering Sitefinity moving forward with a new licensing model. So we've evolved our offering to be more a la carte and support you in being able to choose the right capabilities that you need and incorporate those into your digital experience implementation. And you don't have to necessarily purchase a bunch of additional capabilities that you don't necessarily need. That was associated with our edition-focused approach previously. So we evolved our self-hosted offering so that it's in line with our Sitefinity Cloud offering. So if you're considering moving or migrating to Sitefinity Cloud, both of them are easily comparable, and you can weigh the pros and cons of each. We also have a list of functional add-ons, which we'll get into in a little bit, that you can easily compare what might be best for your implementation based on your business challenges and needs, and what you might not need based on your current, the current edition of Sitefinity you're on. We also have introduced better access to Sitefinity Insight for our customers. Previously, it was available only in our online marketing and enterprise edition, and now we are evolving our offering so that more customers can get access to these capabilities if their organization needs them, which is really exciting. So a few key changes that might be relevant to you is that we have evolved our professional edition to Sitefinity DX. And this is our core platform that you can then add on specific pieces of functionality if you might need them. And this base platform includes all of the capabilities in professional edition, but then adds on a few more capabilities. The service hooks and low-code integration, which we talked about a bit earlier, as well as access to Sitefinity Insight, the analytics portion of Insight, and 24/5 support. So what's important to note is if you're on Professional Edition and you're looking to upgrade to Sitefinity 14, these are all 3 new, very exciting features and services that you can take advantage of. A few other things, the functional add-ons that we've had for Sitefinity for some time. These are single pieces of capabilities that you can purchase and add on to your solution. We've introduced multiple functional add-ons that are now available for Sitefinity DX. So again, if you upgrade from Professional Edition to Sitefinity DX 14, you'll have a bunch of new functional add-ons available to you to now purchase and add on to your solution if you might need it. We also introduced the idea of functional packages. So we introduced the Enterprise package, which is an evolved version of Enterprise Edition, includes all of the capabilities that were in Enterprise Edition, but bundles them as all of the add-ons together in one bundle at a discounted rate. So if you take a look at our how to buy page on our website, you'll see that if you upgrade your Professional Edition to Sitefinity DX 14, you'll now get a ton of new add-ons available to you in case you might need them. And if you are considering a more enterprise package, if you are on Professional or Online Marketing Edition, then you also have the Sitefinity DX plus Enterprise package available to you that bundles together a lot of those add-ons already. In terms of what it means for you, no one is forced to migrate to the new licensing structure. And if you would like to stay on 13.3 on the old licensing structure, that's completely fine. It's a long-term supported release. So you'll continue to receive support as you continue to use Sitefinity. You'll only really see or experience any changes when you wish to migrate to 14 if you're a self-hosted or on-prem customer. And this is because we'll need to issue special upgrade offerings to you, and that will upgrade you to the corresponding edition and give you access to the same capabilities that you have been using, just in the new licensing structure. And it will grandfather you into the current rates that you're paying, so you won't see any changes in the capabilities you have access to or any changes in terms of prices that you're paying. So if you're looking to migrate to Sitefinity 14, you need to request the upgrade through your account manager so we can issue those special upgrade offerings to you. Anyone on Sitefinity Cloud, you won't see many changes since we modeled our self-hosted version after Sitefinity Cloud. And a few final slides before we wrap up. So we're continuing to evolve Sitefinity. We're really excited about this release. It's a really big step in being able to support our customers and support you all in delivering the experiences that best meet your business requirements, the challenges you're facing, the different strategies you're looking to take on as a business, and the capabilities that we are looking to introduce and have introduced hopefully support you in being able to do that. So giving you the capabilities to create unique experiences. We talked about low code and headless, delivering experiences that are integrated across multiple channels, and being able to do that cost effectively and easily. And then being able to maintain your instance as well and reduce total cost of ownership through a platform that is easy to manage. So we're excited about this release, and if you're looking to upgrade to Sitefinity 14, we have a number of different resources available. You can check out the Get Started page where you can test out Sitefinity, take a trial if you would like. You can also get a demo of Sitefinity 14 in action. If you're ready to upgrade, we have our Upgrade Center. We have a number of different services and professional services at Progress that will help and support you in upgrading your Sitefinity version, which is awesome. And we also have a number of different trainings available. So if you're looking to expand your Sitefinity knowledge and looking to ensure that you're ready to take on Sitefinity 14, we have a brand new Sitefinity 14 course specific to this version available on our education portal as well. So all very exciting and useful resources for Sitefinity 14. So we very much thank you for attending. Thank you for your support of Sitefinity. We're really excited about this release. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I think we're out of time for questions today, but we really appreciate your support, and go Sitefinity 14.